Hello everyone, it's Robin here and welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for stopping by. I'm excited to see everyone today. I'm also excited for today's video because we'll be talking books. Oh, I love reading, I love books, and I really love my reading journal. So this is the reading journal that I put together in a recent video. I'll link it down below if you missed it. But I had a fun month in January, and in today's video, I'm gonna share some of that with you. We will be updating my reading journal. I'll share with you how I'm using this journal, and we'll talk about the books that I read. So I can't wait. Let's just get started. So here's my reading journal, and I also have a bunch of supplies around in case I need to use that. Well, I know I'll be using them. That's why they're around me, right? So I made this reading journal out of a Happy Plans and Notes, which is an exclusive to Amazon Happy Planner, and it's a really cool one. It's very versatile. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. I frankenplanned it a bit and put a different cover on it. This is from a past Happy Planner, and I just love this cover. It has all of these really cool icons on it. It says find yourself. So I think that's really great for a reading journal. Let's get started because I'm really excited about this. So I'm gonna go through this with you. Some things I have already filled out a little bit, some things I haven't filled out at all, and we'll do that together. So let's just get some sense about this. Right off the bat, I read 3 books in January, and I had a really good time reading all these books. It was fun. But I'm gonna bypass my January page, sneak peek, and go straight to the calendar, and you can see how that plays out. So you may hear an ongoing comment throughout this journal, and that was my mantra through the month, and that was, what is it I want to know about the books I'm reading? What is it I really want to track? What is the information I need? Well, one thing I wanted to know is the date I started a book and then the date I finished a book, and that's what this monthly calendar is doing for me, because I am able to see that I started The Office BFFs here on the 5th, and then I finished it on the 19th. So the way I did that is I used blue kind of quarter boxes to mark when I started a book, and then the black ones at a glance I can see when I finished a book. So at a glance I can see I finished 3 books in January, but I also have 4 here. So I began A Cross Country Christmas in December, so it's over here in my sidebar, and then I finished it on the 4th, and then I began The Office BFFs on the 5th, and then I finished it on the 19th. So you can see I'm also overlapping because I also started a Firefly, and I also started Finley Donovan is Killing It, and I finished Firefly down here. So there is some overlap. I'm reading out of 3 modes right now. I have hardbacks or physical books rather, and then I have my Kindle, which I absolutely love, and then I'm also doing some audiobooks. So I want to note that on here, and I'm going to pull out a little sheet here. It's a little sneak peek at what will be coming to the shop because I'm testing these out. I've already used a couple, and these are some reading icons. So we have a physical book here, we have an e-reader, and we have for audiobook here. So A Cross Country Christmas, well, that was an e-reader book. I think it was a Kindle Unlimited book, actually. I'm just gonna put this right here at the top of it. And then I know that's what it was, right? And then Office BFFs, I went along and just started reading that right on my Kindle because it was very easy. Firefly Lane, I don't have, that's Kristen Hanna. And I'm gonna tell you more about these books as we go. I'm loving Kristen Hanna, but this was an audiobook. I didn't have a physical copy, and I did that as an audiobook, and we'll talk about that later. And then Finley Donovan, again, is another ebook. I didn't read any physical books this month. I was hanging out with my Kindle, which I love. I got my Kindle, I think, mid last year, and I absolutely love it. So if we do it like this, we can kind of see what's going on, and it's great for me to see this too. So I was reading on my Kindle here, and then I finished it. So again, then I just started another one on my Kindle. Then I started this one as audio because I'm reading some of these at different times of day. I'm reading my Kindle a lot at night, and my audio I can intermix throughout the day. So that's why you'll see such overlap. So when I finished this on my Kindle, I started another one on my Kindle, and then I finished this as an audio. So that's kind of how that went. Finley Donovan is Killing It. is being moved over to February. And you can see I already started putting things here, but here's Finley Donovan is killing it. And here in February, I'm using these reds. So I showed you a little sneak peek of some stickers I'm making for the shop, my shop at ohelloRobin on Etsy. It'll be linked down below. I want to share these with you because these blues came from this set. And I created this set of small boxes. They're like quarter boxes, but there are 3 different variations. And this is the same blue color that you'll see in my bookish collection. Here's also, they all have the wrong names over here. Here's also a kind of a black trio. And then here's the red trio that you saw over on February. But I want to give you a little sneak peek because they're right here. I'm really excited about these. These will be coming out. Check it out as I go through. These will be on my Etsy shop here really soon. I'll do a video to show you. And these are my trio collection. Here, this one goes in here. If I could fit it in here because it's all rainbowy and beautiful. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Okay, enough of that. Sneak peek coming soon. I will let you know. You may see some other stickers as we go here that will be in that collection, but they're all very functional. Okay, so this page is done, so we can see what I've done here. And I want to go to my trackers next, which is right here, because all the trackers are really fun, right? Trackers are super fun. So here's my Goodreads goal. So I have 3 boxes down here. What I decided I wanted to do here, and we're gonna use these again. I want to track on my Goodreads goal. I want to color them in as I read because my Goodreads goal is 32 for this year, which is really, that would be really good for me. That's like 3-ish books a month, you know, 2 to 3 books a month. I think that would be really great for me. And another thing, if you're like me and you read, you know, like 1 or 3 books a month, you can still do a reading tracker. You can do a reading journal. It's okay because I'm having fun with it. So my Goodreads goal is 32. And so I have 32 boxes here, and on here I wanted to color them in as I read them, but I wanted to note something else, and I want to know how many physical books I'm reading. So I'm going to put this down here right next to this color. I was going to write the words, but I made these, so I thought, oh, let's just do this, right? And then how many audiobooks am I reading? And then how many books, how many ebooks am I reading? So how much action is my Kindle getting? So that's the colors I'll be using here. And I'll be using these mild liners. And I picked these 3 colors. They're really pretty. So they're blue, purple, and kind of this reddish pink. So let's use this tip. So there's 2 tips on the mild liners. There's a more of a pointy tip, a marker tip, and then a highlighter tip. So, physical books will be in blue. And we'll do my audiobooks will be in purple. That would be cool, right? And then all my Kindle books will be this really cool reddish color. Kind of a pinky red. I really like it. Okay, so now that we know from here, like from January, right? The first book I finished, Cross Country Christmas, was a Kindle book. Well, let me take this out because that's going to be complicated. So let's do that. I think I took out too many pages, but that's okay. So the first book I read was a Kindle book, so it's going to be in the red color. I might do the bigger side. Let's try this because this is a bigger square. So book number 1, Cross Country Christmas, was Kindle. So I'm just going to color this in like so. Perfect. And then the second book I finished was Office BFFs. It was also a Kindle. Look at that. I'm going to town on my Kindle, right? I'm telling you, I love my Kindle. And then the third book I finished, Firefly Lane, was an audiobook. And the audiobook is purple. So at a glance here, I'll be able to tell at the end of the year how many I read of each, which is kind of fun, right? That's definitely kind of fun to do. Okay, let's go back to trackers and put this back in. So normally I would fill this out as I do them, but again, I wanted to save this to kind of go through it with you guys because that's fun and work on how we're doing this. So that was that page. The next page is my monthly stats. So how many books did I read and how many pages did I turn? I'm gonna fill this out after I fill out this last one because I'll have the pages listed. So we'll come back to this. And here's my books read. So this is really fun. So this is where you're gonna start seeing these. I printed off book covers. I did it on sticker paper because I have sticker paper here. And I had 3 sizes because I was testing out 3 different sizes for this entire tracker. And you'll see I use quite a few of these sizes. So what I do is when I print these, I make the height of the books the same size. So these are all 1.5 inches tall. These are 2 inches tall, and these are 2.5 inches tall. So you can see the size difference. So I'm gonna put these aside here. And these I'm gonna list just right on my shelf. So I did this with sticker paper, but you can do this on paper, cardstock, photo paper, whatever you want, and you can just tape them down or glue them down. So I'm gonna put these down right here. And there we are. Oh my gosh, don't they look cute? So I just like them all sitting there side by side. Okay, let's see what page is next. Oh, my bookshelf. So this one's really fun too, because this is another one where I'm marking like what is that I want to track. Well, I also want to know how many books I read each month. And that's what these boxes down here are. And I've got a color pencil here that I'm going to use. And January seems like a blue month. So I'm going to color this first one in blue. And I'm going to go ahead and fill out 3 books in blue. Okay, look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks so cute. I think I want to go ahead and write the titles of the books in. I'm going to use this is a Micron 01. It's a very fine point. I'm hoping it works. So I might abbreviate some of the titles. So this was Cross Country Christmas. Okay, so we have Cross Country Christmas, Office BFS, and Firefly Lane. So at a glance here, I'll be able to see how many books I read in January, and then we'll keep going across the bottom. Plus they'll be all different colors. It'll be gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this last section. I have review on here. I think I'm gonna change that out to the books. Here we go. I already started this because I did not know how I wanted to do this. So I took some time to figure this out, and I have each book written here. What I used to mark off the sections was this really skinny washi tape. I love thin washi, and skinny washi is really fun. I think these came from Happy Planner. I don't know, this one might have came from something else because it's tiny. Or I just used a lot of it, which is probably true. So here's what I have here. I want to put some book covers. So I think this 2-inch size works really well here. And this is where I'll put the star rating. So let me go ahead and put these book covers in real quick. Okay, here we all are. So let's go through the books that I read, which was super, super fun. And I'm gonna be doing some things as we go through them. So the first book I read was Across Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. I really enjoyed this book. It was very Christmassy, and I started it in December, and just December took over. And so I read in through January, and I really liked this book. And I'm giving it 4 stars. So I have this kind of golden yellow mild liner I'm using to color in my stars. also right here, 4 stars, which was very fun. So again, what is it I want to track? So I figured on these pages, a lot of what I wanted to know will help fill out some other pages, and these are the things that I wanted to know. So we have, it was 256 pages. It was a romance, and the main characters are Lauren and Will. So when I go to talk about the book, I can remember the character's name, because sometimes I forget. And I really liked it. And another thing I wanted to know is, again, I read this as, I'm just gonna have to put it like this. It was my Kindle book. So another thing I wanted to do is put 3 things. So 3 things that I thought of. So it was an awkwardly fun road trip, which it was, and it was so awkward because they were 2 people put together that didn't necessarily want to be together, more so on her part than his, on this road trip from California to Illinois. I think it was Chicago they went to go back home to family for Christmas. Each of them had different reasons to be there, but they kind of went on this road trip together to get there. So it was also a second, question mark, chance romance, because maybe one of them didn't know there was a little romance there. So there's some hurt feelings on one side and not quite the other because they didn't really know what was happening. So that was really funny. It just was a funny book. And it was also, number 3, unexpectedly heartwarming. I loved this book because it was so funny. It was so quirky. It was so whimsical. It's a great read for the holiday time because it is light like that, and that it ended on a really nice heartwarming note, and I absolutely loved that. So 4 stars for Cross Country Christmas. Then I read The Office BFFs. Again, this was on my Kindle. It was on my radar to read this book because I really enjoy watching The Office, and this book was written by Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, who was Pam and Angela on The Office, and they run a podcast now talking about all of this. I have never heard the podcast. I didn't listen to it, so reading the book was really fun. I know a lot of people have said that if you listen to the podcast, all the stories in the book you've already heard. But I enjoyed the book, and what I got out of this while I'm doing my 4-star rating was their friendship and just hearing some behind the scenes things. It was just really fun. So I gave this book 4 stars because I really did love it. And it was 336 pages. It's a memoir, and the main characters are Jenna and Angela. So not Pam and Angela, because this is about their friendship. So on The Office, you know, Pam and Angela kind of have this kind of aggravating kind of a relationship, but in real life they are true best friends even to this day. So my 3 things about this book: friendship goals for sure. When you read this book, you just really see it. They just share everything together, and they go to each other all the time. Number 2, you get some behind the scenes tea, which is really fun, and you learn a lot about the people in the show and how a lot of it came about and how differently the show was compared to other shows, like future shows that they went to film, how differently the atmosphere was in this one, which I really liked, which leads to number 3, real life family, that the people in the office and the whole cast was really one big family for reals. And I love that. It makes me want to watch all of the episodes again to catch some of the things that they said and to see that, just that dynamic happening. So I really love that. Okay. Next up, we have Firefly Lane, and I listened to this on audiobook. Now, audiobook and I are kind of a thing. Let's do this right here. I am a very visual person, so when I listen to audiobooks, I have to really pay attention and focus. I can't just be wandering around doing a bunch of stuff because I will get easily distracted. I was a little concerned also about listening to this on audiobook because I have watched the first season of Firefly Lane. I absolutely loved it. And that's the story of 2 friends, Kate and Tully. Or Tully and Kate, actually, is the proper way to say it. And it spans like more than 30 years of their life and everything that happens in their growth and their careers and their families and their friendship. And it's just it's an amazing book. So I was a little concerned about the audiobook part because I thought I would lose interest too easily but I didn't. The audiobook is amazing. Oh, I should have written down the narrator. I don't remember the narrator's name. I might add that to my list of narrators because I do, the narrator makes a difference for me in audiobooks as well. This is also a very long book, 513 pages. Historical fiction. It's about Tully and Kate. Gave it 5 stars. I loved this. Number 1, best friends, always and forever. That was the key thing in this entire book, no matter what was happening, no matter the career choices, any choices, family, anything, that they were best friends first and forever. And I just love that so much. Decades of nostalgia. So it started in the 70s, and I grew up in the 70s. So it was really fun to read that and get that, and then get the growth into the 80s and the 90s, and then even into the 2000s. So that was really fun. And number 3, pass the tissues. Hello, pass more than 1 box of tissues. This book got me, and I absolutely loved it. Gave it 5 stars because while I loved both of these, this one also is just this one was like love, 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 love on a higher level, and will stay with me for a very long time. It didn't matter that I watched the first season, so because it was a little different, which was kind of fun. When I finished watching this, I restarted watching the first season because I want to watch the next season that has come out. And I'm excited about that. And there's also a sequel to this that I'm also excited about. So these are the books that I read, and this is the information that I wanted to know, so I can go back and finish filling out a few of these things. So let's do that. Let's go back to the tracker, since I have the numbers here, and fill out this one sheet, my monthly sheet here, that says how many books I read and how many pages I turned. I'm going to use a micron here and one of the thicker ones. I think this is the 08. We'll see if this works. So I read 3 books in January, and when I added up all the pages, it came out to be 1,105. Very cool, very cool, very cool. We'll use that information up near the front again. So this page will have all of those stats on it. And then we'll go back to the beginning. Oh my gosh. All over here, and this is kind of my month in review, and so this is my wrap up for the month. So for January, I put a sticker from the Happy Planner. This is from one of the Bookish sticker books, The World Was Hers for the Reading, and I used the so see the size difference. These are the 2-inch size because I read 3 books. If I read more books, I might have to make them smaller. And then what I did was I put the 2.5 inch at the top as my favorite book. So I printed a lot of them out just because I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this. So I have extras, but I'll know next month. So I put my biggest one at the top. That's my favorite. And here's a quote from Firefly Lane. All you have to do is remember Firefly Lane and you'll find me. There will always be a Tully and Kate. Oh, love it. Love, 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 love. Okay, so where's my pen? So, I have down here to track how many physical books I read, audio, and Kindle. I read 0 physical books. I read 1 audio, and I read 2 Kindle. That's good, right? And at the bottom here, I want to list the pages that I read because I can see how many books, but I want to list that. And I'm going to use this mild liner. I'm going to write the word pages. Oh my gosh, let's see if we can do this. We're getting fancy now. Let's take this out. Let's take this out. Okay, let's write pages across here. Oi, okay, we got it. And I'm gonna take, let's see, I have this very thin 01, and I'm gonna outline it. Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay, sweet. And how many pages did we say we read? It was 1,105, was it? So let's go back and look real quick. 1,105. So let's go ahead and just write it down here in this 08 here. So 1,105 pages. So sweet. We can put this back here, and there is my tracker. So let's kind of flip through this a little bit. We have the monthly, and this shows my favorite book, Kristen Hanna, Firefly Lane. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I also read Across Country Christmas and The Office BFFs. I read 1 audio and 2 Kindle and 1,105 pages total. Very nice. The calendar page shows me when I started a book and when I finished, and this will be for February. And then here's my February calendar. So if that gives you a sense of where these are. So let's go to the trackers. So here's the trackers that I built so far, because this is information I want to know. I want to know when I reach my 32 goal for Goodreads, but I also want to know how many physical books, how many audiobooks, and how many ebooks I'm reading. And that will be the colors that I'll use. My monthly stats here show me in January I read 3 books, 1,105 pages, and when this is done, I'll know it for the whole year, and I'll probably build a page over here as my final total, which makes sense to me. Here are the books that I read, so I can see them all on the shelves when they're all lined up when I get down to 32, because if I put 4 books on each shelf, that'll equal 32 at the bottom. And if I read more than 32, well, that's a good problem, and we'll figure that out later this year. So that'll be fun. And here's my bookshelf. I love this. I'll link all the videos down below of parts that I put together, because I did do a video on this one. This was really fun. And in this one, there's 32 books on here, and I'm going to color them in by month. So I'll know each month how I'm doing in my reading. So that's cool. And then we go to the back end here, and we see these are the 3 books I read. I'm tracking, obviously, the title of the book. I've got another book cover because I'm a very visual person, and I just love doing that, by Courtney Walsh. How many pages, the genre of the book, how I read it, the main characters, and 3 things, top 3 things about it, as well as my star rating. So this is really fun. So I can go ahead and use some of these washi tapes and start creating some more pages to get ready to fill them in. And I'm really excited about that. I love all the color. I think the color just makes it really fun. Oh my gosh. Whew, I know this video might be a little long, but I was excited to do it. And next month, I will probably be filling some things out ahead of time, like as I'm doing them, because it was hard this month. I was waiting to color all this in, but now that we did it and kind of went through it together, you'll know. But I will keep you updated with my reading, and we will go through this and let you know what's going on. I would love to hear about what you're reading right now. So right now I am reading The Finley Donovan is Killing It. I am almost done with it. I'll finish it either today or tomorrow. I'm absolutely loving that book. It is hilarious. And I didn't know it was going to be that funny, but I am loving it. So yeah, I would love to hear about what you're reading, and if you use anything to track or to play with in a reading journal situation. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you in my next video. Oh, and stay tuned, because all these stickers will be heading to my shop. They'll be heading to my shop soon. All of these and all these fun colors. Yes, stay tuned for that. Okay, thank you again. Bye.